What's up, everybody? This is Terrence Warren, Cisco Tutor Guy, CCNP. And first of all, I want to shout out a couple people that's making a difference in the IT community. So I want to start by shouting out Dewan Lightfoot and the Lab Everyday community. Shout out to Network Bruh on his contribution to the IT community. Y'all should check him out at Network Bruh on YouTube. Shout out to his beard and Dewan's beard. Shout out to their beards. Their beard game is tight. Shout out to Adrian Brown over at Midlands Community College, inspiring young minds and motivating them to come into this IT field. He's doing a lot of great things over there. So what I want to talk to you about today as I sit on my back screened-in porch, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself, because this video is gonna be about contracting, because I get a lot of questions about contracting, and I've done contracting. But let's start. I started from the military. I was a country dude. I'm from a small town called Goldsboro, North Carolina. It's a small town, small country town, and I grew up. It's a southern town. And I grew up poor. But the thing about growing up poor back then, we didn't know we were poor, because everybody around us was poor. So everybody was on the same economic level. So we didn't know we were poor as kids. Me and my twin brother and my cousins, all of our parents was on the same economic level. So we didn't realize we were poor until we got up to maybe like high school, when we started to notice things that we didn't have or couldn't get that other people had and could get easily. So I joined the military as a way to get opportunities to open doors, and that's where I was introduced to telecommunications and eventually information technology. Now the question is whether you should pursue contract jobs. And when you're starting out in IT, there's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, I recommend that, because when you start with an IT job, you might do a 6-month or 12-month contract, but in that time, you'll get to touch different technologies and learn a lot of things. So at the end of that contract, end of that 6 months, end of that 12 months, you jump on another contract and you learn even more technologies, more networks, and the way different companies operate. So after doing, let's say, 3 to 4 contracts, you've gotten maybe 5 or 6 years of experience in three years. So you've touched different technologies, you've learned how different networks operate and how to troubleshoot and administer on those networks, that the experience level that you're at, you could probably demand a 6-figure salary. After doing 3 years of contracts, you could probably demand a 6-figure salary or close. If you have the certifications to justify it, it just opens you up to more options, a different level. You see, because when I first got out the military, that's all I did was contracts. I did overseas contracts in Iraq. I did that for 4 years. So for 4 years, I was making a 6-figure salary. My first year I made $150. My second year I made $185, and I think I made I made the first contract lasted 2 years, so I made $150 for 2 years, and then the third year I made $185, and my fourth year I made $225. So 4 years of a 6-figure salary, and you would think that would spoil me, but yeah, it kind of did, because after I came back to the States, I knew how much I wanted to make. I knew how much I needed to maintain the lifestyle that I was living, So, but, realistically, you can't jump into a 6-figure contract just like that. But I did get close, and the type of jobs that I was looking for, I was looking for something that was close to what I was doing overseas. And because the job that I had, I was able to touch different technologies. So I could have went in any track, any direction. I knew wireless, I knew security, I knew routing and switching, and I knew troubleshooting and configuration. So I could have went in any direction. I even knew voice over IP, the call manager stuff with the phones, the telephony network. So I was well skilled in any of those tracks. That's how I know which tracks are the highest paying, and which tracks are the secondary, and which tracks to that six-figure salary. So, in my opinion, contracts are a good thing when you're starting out. Mostly if, I had a family, but my family was young at the time. So, once you get in a position to where you can do that, because most contracts don't pay benefits. They pay extremely high because they don't pay benefits. So you have to either get your own or just maintain. See, the reason why I was able to do that is because I would go to the VA. I was good at the VA for my benefits, my medical benefits. So I didn't try to go outside the VA. I just opt for no benefits and get some PTO and do it that way. So my contracts paid extremely high because I wasn't getting any medical benefits with them. But for the person with the family, they are available. You just got to know what to ask for and what to look out for. So if you was to start doing contracts as you start your IT career, I would say 3 to 4 years of contracting, and then you go into something more permanent, more full-time and stable. So by then, the salary that you can ask for can be extremely high because you've already gotten 3-4 years of experience in contracting. And I think contracting gives you, at least for one contract, you might get 2 years of experience because of what you're doing and what you're doing on a constant basis and how it's changing, how you're touching all the technologies. So keep that in mind when you're, doing contracts. So again, in my opinion, contracting is a good thing. That's how I was able to make my first couple $100,000. I think I made, in the 4 years I was contracting, I think I made an equivalent of $600,000. So that's a good nest egg, a good cushion as you start your IT career. And so by then my kids were a little older, so I wanted to pick something stateside so I would be around more and be available. So that's when I started looking at stateside contracts, which also can still give you that six-figure salary. And so I think I did a couple contracts stateside before I finally went for something permanent, because with contracts there are risks. There's the contract could end at any time. So that's a risk that you have to be willing to take. That if it ends, what are you going to do? Are you going to be able to jump to another contract, another job? But at the same time, there are jobs also, regular jobs, that can end at any time too. So, there's nothing new there. But contracts are more susceptible to ending at any time. Despite what they tell you, they could end at any time. Secondly, contracts aren't guaranteed. As much as they say contract to hire, we're gonna extend it. It doesn't have to happen. Like one company here, they're always hire contractors, and they hire them for $120, $130 a year, which is a good salary. But at any time, they'll lay off all the contractors, and they've been known to do this quite often. So that's another thing that you have to consider, is how often these companies will get rid of the contractors, because they only hire contractors for that reason. If they have to get rid of the contractors, they can just do so without any kind of headache or whatever. They can just get rid of you and they still maintain their regular employees. So if you can get on as a regular employee, that'd be good. But these companies make it harder to do so because they want the flexibility to just get rid of people just like that on a whim without the headache. So overall, contract jobs can help your IT career, can boost your salary negotiation level because of what you'll be doing, but there are the risks involved with it, that they're not stable, and you could be liable for your own benefits, So with that being said, I'm going to end this video and just say, if you're reviewing contracts or considering contracts, consider the things that I spoke about, and let that be a guidance to your decision. All right. So again, this is Terrence Warren, Cisco Tutor Guy, CCNP, and I'll see you in the next video.